remaining. A bell will sound when you have 30 seconds left. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette. I will call our meeting to order at 6:03. Welcome to your public comment work session and Councilmember Jared Williams' last meeting. Call us to order.
Our invocation will be provided by Pastor Perfecto Esquivel from Center Church. Please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the pledges of allegiance.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you in the mighty name of Jesus. We thank you for your love and grace and the salvation you have provided through your Son. Today, we thank you for our Mayor, Maddie Parker, and our City Council. We thank you for their lives of service and their dedication to the city of Fort Worth. Father, we ask that you would grant our Mayor and our City Council the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that they need as they face the many issues involved in our city. I personally know they're working diligently to provide affordable housing, invite new businesses, and to improve our education system so that our young graduates have much greater opportunities. I've seen them working towards these goals over the years and many other issues, and I know that they have a heart's desire to help the people here. Lord, strengthen our mayor, strengthen our city council, give them peace, encouragement, and understanding. Let them know that you are with them and you are helping them as they make each decision. Lord, we also lift up our law enforcement officers. We thank you for them, Lord. We thank you for the protection, the security, and the care that they give our community. We ask you to protect them from all acts of violence and attacks that have been happening across the United States. We thank you for guarding them from evil and danger. Father, we also pray for the victims of the terrorist attack this past Sunday in Boulder, Colorado. We ask that you would heal them and make them whole again. We ask that you would keep our whole nation safe from terrorism. We ask that all hatred and anti-Semitism would come to an end. We pray that you would keep our college campuses and universities safe from violence and hatred. We ask that you would bring peace and unity to our nation, and that all anti-Semitism, all hatred in every form, and all terrorism would not be allowed to exist in the United States of America. Finally, Lord, we ask for your divine love, your unconditional love to be poured out across the city of Fort Worth and our whole nation. We ask that the people of Fort Worth would love and respect each other, help and support one another with your divine love. I thank you, Lord, that as we love one another this way, Fort Worth will be a bright light shining for the rest of the world to see. We thank you for all of these things. In Jesus' name, amen.
Council, our first action item tonight will be approval of the minutes from the May 6th, 13th, and 20th council meetings.
Move to approve.
Got a motion and a second. Council, any other discussion? If not, please vote.
Yay.
Motion carries.
Mayor, that concludes the action items.
Thank you. So the first part of our meeting this evening will be focused on it being Councilmember Jared Williams' last meeting. So we have a set of speakers and videos to cue. I'm going to turn to our City Secretary's office to cue those videos, and then we'll take speakers.
It's a real pleasure to join in honoring my friend, Councilmember Dr. Jared Williams, as we celebrate his service to the great people of Fort Worth. I've known Jared since he first volunteered on my very first campaign for Congress. And over the years, we've had the chance to work together and to stand side by side in the fight for those who are too often overlooked and unheard in our communities. And during the past year, we grew even closer as friends and as leaders and as fathers, navigating the balance of public service and family life. I know the dedication it takes to serve with integrity while raising a young family. And Jared, you and your wonderful wife have faced those challenges with grace, and the impact of your leadership is clear, from lifting up working families to bringing new voices into the process and helping to shape a stronger, more inclusive Fort Worth. Public service is a calling, and you've answered that call with heart, vision, and commitment. And I'm proud of all that you've accomplished, proud to call you a friend, and excited to see where your leadership takes you next. Congratulations, brother.
Dr. Williams, congratulations on your tenure ending on the Fort Worth City Council. Man, I will tell you, it seems like yesterday. It literally seems like yesterday when you started in District 6. Such an important part of our city. So much of the growth that has happened in Fort Worth has happened in District 6. And of course, you represented the community that I'm from, that my mom and all my aunts and uncles and grandparents are from, in the Lake Como community. Your win was so historic. Look, I know that you're going to continue to be at the food bank, and we've always had a great relationship in your role there. That is going to continue, and I just look forward to watching your family continue to grow. You have two beautiful young children, you and your wife, and I know they mean the world to you. Man, I look forward to our relationship continuing for many, many years, but I just wanted to take the time to say congratulations.
Williams. I want to just take just a moment to say to you how much I appreciate you, how much I value you, just for what it is that you've done over these last 2 terms. Not only as your friend, not only as your fraternity brother, but I want to say to you as your neighbor, how much I appreciate you for all that you've done. When I think about our neighborhoods and I think about our community, I can see the impact that your work has played in not just making District 6 better, but making our entire city better. So I want you to know, from my heart to yours, that I thank you for what it is that you've done. I would certainly have rather been there with you in person, but the polls don't close until 7. So with that being said, please accept these words on behalf of myself, Taylor, and Gavin, that I want you to know that we appreciate you. And I also want to take a point of personal privilege to say to Sosha and the kids, thank you all. Thank you for giving Jared the grace to serve the way that he did. Jared, we often don't think about it. While we are the ones that are typically elected, our families also are drafted into service. And so I want you to also take a moment to appreciate them for giving you the grace to serve the way that you have. As you go into this next season of your life, my brother, I want you to know that I am proud of you. I want you to know that I appreciate you. And I want you to know that I wish you well. Take care.
My name is John Gardner. I am the second Vice President of the Tarrant County AFL-CIO, representing the Transport Workers Union, Local 513, and I am the Chairman of the Committee on Political Education. On behalf of the Tarrant County Central Labor Council, I am honored to recognize Council Member Dr. Jared Williams for his unwavering commitment to working families across Fort Worth and Tarrant County. Jared always understood that public service is about standing up for people and doing what is right, even when it is hard. His work to raise the city's minimum wage from $10 to $18 an hour over the past 3 years was not just about numbers. It was about dignity. The $8 an hour increase is life-changing for Fort Worth workers and their families. It means that parents can better provide for their children. It means money flows back into our neighborhoods. It strengthens the fabric of our community. Jared also led the fight to bring our EMS services back under public oversight, ending the outsourcing of these critical jobs to MedStar. Today, our frontline EMS professionals are part of the Fort Worth Fire Department and have the dignity, protections, and security of civil service. And Fort Worth residents are seeing stronger, more responsive emergency care as a result. This is what purpose-driven leadership looks like. It's about actions that make our community stronger, more just, and more fair. Jared, we are proud to stand with you and are grateful for all you have done to lift up working families in this city. Thank you for your service.
Everyone, this is LaDanian Tomlinson. I'm honored to share a few words today about my friend, Council Member Dr. Jared Williams. I've known Jared for a while now. We've teamed up at backpack giveaways, working to make sure kids here in Fort Worth start the school year ready and confident. That's who Jared is, a servant leader, always showing up, always thinking about how to make life better for our community. And as a former North Crowley High School and college quarterback at Fort Valley State, Jared knows what it means to lead, to inspire a team, to face challenges head on, and to keep driving toward the goal. He's brought that same heart and determination to City Hall these past 4 years. Jared, congratulations on an incredible season of service to Fort Worth. You have made a lasting difference for so many, and I know your work is far from done. I'm proud to call you a friend, and I look forward to seeing all that you will continue to accomplish. God bless.
Good evening, everyone. What an honor it is to be present with you tonight as we celebrate an incredible man and Dr. Jared Williams for his sacrifice and leading us through these times in Fort Worth as our council member, but more importantly, as our friend on the council. So if you know how I do it, I'm gonna try to be real, and I hope I bring the tears that I have felt when thinking about sharing this moment. Since day one, when I met you, Jared, I knew that you were the real deal. When I asked you to come join me for a run, when you said, I want to pick your brain, and I said, well, meet me at 5:45 over at Tandy Hills. And you ran with me, albeit running out of breath, but you kept up and you never quit. And you were right behind me the whole way. And when we were done, you weren't behind me, you were next to me. And I think that that's what our community has experienced with you and your leadership, leading by values, leading with integrity, leading with that complete understanding that you fight for justice and equity, that when you pledge the Pledge of Allegiance, you know how it finishes with justice for all. My friend, my brother, I love you. There's no one like you. And I know if there's anybody in the room that knows it, it's the beautiful wife of yours in Sosha and those blessed children that have you again full-time as their dad, as their daddy, in Janelle and Jameson. What a beautiful family you have, and how honored I am to have had you join my family. Thank you for your years of sacrifice. And I know this is only the next chapter in your life and leading your flock. And I'm glad to consider myself one of your flock. God bless you, Dr. Jared Williams, and all that you do. And bless your family as well. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Haley Taylor Schlitz, It is truly an honor to join in the celebrating of the service of Councilmember Dr. Jared Williams, or as many of us affectionately call him, Councilman Millennial. As a member of Gen Z and an attorney, I know how important it is for young leaders to see examples of what values-driven, inclusive leadership looks like in action. Councilmember Williams has consistently set that example. Whether through hiring the youngest district director in the city with my friend Kendall Locke, or through his personal commitment to mentorship, he has worked to ensure that young voices are not just heard, but empowered. I am especially grateful for the opportunity he gave me when he nominated me to serve on the Fort Worth Sister Cities Board. That experience helped me grow as a leader and shape my perspective in ways I carry with me today, including in my current role on the board of the Greater Twin Cities United Way. Councilmember Williams, your leadership reminds us that making room for new voices and lifting as you climb is not just good politics, it's what strengthens our communities. On behalf of so many young leaders you have inspired, thank you for all you have done. We celebrate you and we look forward to seeing all the ways you will continue to make a difference.
Mayor, that concludes all of the videos.
Our next speaker is Adrienne Gray, followed by Melanie Dottie Munoz. Is Adrienne here? Miss Dottie Munoz, you can come up. Followed by Dina Ashton. You may need to use this one in the middle. Thank you. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, we have an entourage wherever I go with these two. I'm Dr. Melanie Dottie Munoz, a proud constituent of District 6, and I want to take a moment to proudly thank Dr. Councilman Jared Williams for his service, not just to our district, but to the entire city of Fort Worth. Jared, we see you. We see the way you show up as a civil servant with integrity, grace, and courage, but we also see you as a neighbor who listens, a resident who cares, and a father who leads with love, a husband who stands up in his partnership, and a man of God whose faith anchors his purpose. Scripture tells us in Galatians 6:9, let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Jared, you have not grown weary. You've leaned in even when it was hard, and you've led with a servant's heart. The seeds you've planted across our community are growing, sometimes quietly, but always steadily. As you prepare to travel with Fort Worth Sister Cities, I pray for your safety and that the trip will fill your cup in all the ways you need. May it inspire fresh ideas, deepen connections, and give you the space to reflect and renew. And I hope it gives you a break away from any home remodeling projects for my dear friend Sosha. We know you'll find new and creative ways to pour into the community instead. Thank you, Dr. Williams, for showing us that leadership can be bold, compassionate, and rooted in faith. We are better because of your service. Safe travels, and we'll still be cheering you on when you return. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Kalisha Stevenson and then Dina Ashton. Either one can come up. That's fine.
Good evening. Greetings, Mayor Parker, Councilman and Councilwoman, excuse me. It is truly an honor to stand before you today to speak about a remarkable man, someone I've had the privilege of watching grow from childhood to adulthood and to servanthood, and to serve over years with unwavering dedication, humility, and heart. When Dr. Williams first began discussing the possibility of him running for city council, it was clear that he wasn't just seeking a position, he was answering a call. He has listened to the people, he's heard their concerns, their hopes, and their dreams for District 6. And from day one, he carried those voices with him inside every meeting, every decision, and every challenges. He's a true prayer warrior, and he has led with the strength that comes only through faith. He has constantly tried to do what is right by all peoples, striving to make a decision that uplifts and protects the entire community. His leadership has never been about spotlight or status. It's been about service. He has poured his heart into Fort Worth, not only as a councilman, but as a servant, as a husband, a father, a son, a brother, a friend, and even a pastor. He has worn each of these roles with grace, humility, and integrity. I I've had the honor of being selected to serve in various community roles, such as Community Development Council, the Board of Adjustment of Commercial, and most recently, the Zoning Commission. Each experience has deepened my respect for his unwavering commitment as his well-being of the city. Dr. Williams, your absence on this committee will be deeply felt. You are truly a jewel in this city. And while we will miss your steady hand and compassionate heart, we know that your impact will continue far beyond this chapter. I pray that you and your family are blessed abundantly in the seasons to come. And sincerely, I pray that your journey of service with Fort Worth isn't finished just yet. As we know, you are Fort Worth. Okay? I want you to know that we care about you, we love you, we support you in any role that you choose to accomplish, okay? I love you dearly. Like I said, I've watched you as a child, and I have watched you as a servanthood. Thank you so much for the love that you've given to Fort Worth.
Good evening, everyone. Dr. Jared Williams, I am Dina Ashton, President of the Lake Como NAC Advisory Council. We just want to thank you for your dedication, for your patience, for your integrity, for your willingness, for your kind heart, for your leadership. We definitely know that dealing with Lake Como through your term, we've had ups and we've had downs, and you've been there throughout the whole entire trip. So we definitely appreciate you for that. We are excited to what God has in store for you. Psalms 37 and 23 says, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So we know God is ordering your steps, and we're expecting nothing but greatness from you. So thank you again from the Lake Como community.
Our next speaker is Dr. Charmaine Williams, followed by Cindy Johnson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Dr. Charmaine Williams, and I am a proud resident of District 6. And so tonight I just want to speak with deep gratitude and pride for not only my neighbor and friend turned family, but someone who has personally witnessed the impact of Councilman Dr. Jared Williams and his leadership. He has, as he prepares to step into his new chapter, I just feel that it is crucial that we take a moment to celebrate his profound impact he has had on our district and the Fort Worth community. Dr. Williams, you've been more, that's so weird to say, but Dr. Williams, you have been more than a council member. You've been a voice for the unheard, a champion for families, and a guiding light for our community. Your leadership has been intentional, rooted in integrity, compassion, and an unwavering belief in people. You've always reminded us that this is not your seat, but it is the people's seat. You've consistently asked about my experience living in District 6 and have shown care by asking how it can be made better. You may remember there was a time I came to you about a streetlight down Risinger, which impaired my night driving. However, you didn't just listen, you acted. And then you made sure that it was addressed and you introduced me to the city app, which I didn't know much about at the time. But now I know how to use it going forward. But that's the kind of practical, empowering leadership that we've come to count on. Through your work in affordable housing, youth programs, and community development, you've created opportunities for families to plant roots and build lasting futures. Most importantly, you've led with a spirit of collaboration and compassion, always putting people first. As you enter this next chapter, know that your legacy will continue to inspire us. You've shown us what it means to lead with heart, to dream boldly, and to believe in the transformative power of community. You leave behind not only meaningful change, but also deep respect and admiration of all who had the honor to work alongside you, and your impact will resonate for years to come. So thank you, Dr. Councilman Jared Williams.
Our next speaker is Cindy Johnson, yes, followed by Jezza Robo, I'm so sorry, and Akare, and he can correct me when he comes up. Thank you, Cindy.
Sure. Good evening, Mayor Parker and Council. I'm Cindy Johnson, the chair of Four Sisters International, Sister Cities International, and it's a real privilege to be here this evening. This is my first time in these new chambers, and they are beautiful. Uh, I want to express my appreciation to each and all of you for the role you play in ensuring the success of our relationships with sister cities all over the world. You may not understand the gravitas that you bring when you're part of a hosting of a delegation from another country to our city, or the symbol you are when you lead a delegation to a sister city in some part of the world. So thank you to each of you. I was delighted when Social Williams invited me to offer some words of appreciation to Councilman Williams. He has been quite a contributor in his role as liaison for our sister city in Indonesia. He's been that liaison for the last number of years, and in a few days, as one of his last acts as councilman, will be leading a delegation to Bandung, Indonesia, and they will be in very good hands. I know this because we have traveled together over the past few years, and not only is he a lot of fun, his personality, his approach to people, just removes barriers that might be there because of language or culture or country, and very quickly makes us a group, those of us visiting and those of us receiving visitors. A few months ago, we welcomed the Council General for Indonesia to Fort Worth for an informal meeting. This counselor is in Houston, and Councilman Williams' just attitude in that meeting, his gracious hosting, his idea sharing, and his follow-up from that meeting led to a celebration of our 35-year relationship with Bandung here at the new City Hall very recently, enjoyed by many. So thank you, Councilman Williams, for what you've done. And you will soon be, I guess, Citizen Williams. But we trust that you will continue to be very much a part of what we're doing with Sister Cities, and trust that for all of you. Thank you.
Mr. Jezarobo? No, he's not here. Okay, thank you. Marcus Hudson, followed by Roderick Miles. Commissioner Miles? Marcus, no? Hi, Marcus.
As he's coming up, Marcus, I owe you a text back. Forgive me.
I don't have a written speech, Councilman Williams. I just want to thank you for always backing the Lake Como community, especially Legacy, as we got ready for the 3rd and 4th of July. I appreciate all the resources and everything that you provided. And I just want to say God bless you and your family and on your new endeavors. You're welcome.
Commissioner Roderick Miles, be followed by Dr. Jamal Williams.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to stand and to give words of congratulations to my friend and my brother, Dr. Jared Williams. And as I was sitting there listening to everyone else's comments, there was one passage of scripture that came to mind that Dr. Williams embodies. And that's Micah, the 6th chapter, the 8th verse. He has shown you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Brother, you have lived this verse of scripture over these last 4 years, your entire life, but these last 4 years specifically. You have led with love. You've led with integrity and character, and you have led with people first. As a resident of District 6, I am grateful to have had you as my representative on the city council. Couldn't have asked for a better leader. You show up, you stand up, and you serve without any expectation for personal gain or recognition. You do what's right because it's the right thing to do. And my prayer for our city and Tarrant County is that the Lord would raise up more leaders like you who lead with love, who serve people genuinely, and who do the right thing simply because it's the right thing to do. And as I take my seat, I want to thank Sosha and Jameson and Janelle for giving you to us to serve what God has called you to do in the capacity that God has called you to do. Thank you, my sister. Thank you, Pastor, for letting us have your son. I guess y'all can have him back now.
Dr. Williams will be followed by Dr. Bell.
Good evening. I'm not going to be here long, but I just also want to just say thank you to Councilman Williams. Though I live a little bit south of District 6, but you have represented my family. There have been times when I've called and asked for things, and well, let me take that. Let me rephrase that. My mother has called me and said, call my councilman because that's your brother. I need things done. We're so grateful for that, and we're grateful for the way you've led. I've watched you grow into this leader as a godly man and a godly leader and a man of faith. I will just echo this back, as you know, of being a civil servant. It is an honor to give you back to your family. And there's a list of things, as I already know, that they have ready for you. But, sir, take your rest, take your time, enjoy your kids, enjoy this time with your dad, and cherish these moments. Love you, brother. Thank you.
Dr. Michael Bell will be followed by Sosha Flowers.
Mayor and council, especially my council person, Deborah Peoples, and city manager Chopper. I've known Jared Williams and his family basically almost all of his life. He was my drummer. His dad and his mom, a wonderful family, his brother. They've been exemplary as long as I have known them. And I am just super duper proud of the kind of person that Jared has become and the kind of integrity that he has demonstrated over and again. Dr. Williams' decision, let me say it like this, take this, I'm gonna read part of it. As council member for District 6, Dr. Jared Williams has exemplified unwavering commitment to the residents of Fort Worth, including the historic Como neighborhood. Since his election in 2021, he has been a steadfast advocate for community-driven progress, ethical leadership, and social equity. Dr. Williams' tenure is a testament to the power of integrity, compassion, and dedication to public service. His legacy will undoubtedly inspire future leaders and continue to impact the Fort Worth community positively. It's just great to know you, Jared. And he has been that kind of person, and he's continued to be. It's so good to see his dad and his wife and his father, his mom. I knew all of them, and wow, you about to go and do another chapter, huh? All right then. God bless.
Sosha Flowers.
Hello, Council. It's my first time and God willing last time doing this. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm Sosha. I'm Jared's wife. Someone had told me 10 years ago we'd be here today. I for real would have laughed in their face. You did not, at least not to me, have political aspirations when we met, but you've always had a heart of service and a deep calling and a deep spirit to help people around you. So it wasn't 100% completely out of left field in 2020 when you said you wanted to run for local office, although I was still surprised, but that's marriage, right? You're just along for the ride and you support your husband and you went out there and did it. And I have to tell you, I was just so floored right away by, even when you were just block walking and campaigning, just the response you got from, old coaches and teachers and classmates that we would run into in these neighborhoods that we had no idea even lived there, that were so excited to see you and so excited to hear that you wanted to run to represent District 6, and see that excitement and that pride grow over these last 2 terms. See people that are continue to be so excited for the work you've done. And it's just been really incredible and inspiring to see. You have always done everything you do, whether it's your nonprofit leadership or with the food bank or educational advocacy. Everything you do has always been done with pride and dedication and integrity. You've served in this position with you've taken a lot of public criticism and verbal assaults with a level of grace and patience that I don't think many people, myself included, would be able to muster up. So please just know that we are so proud of you. Me and Janelle and Jameson, who's been screeching all evening, sorry. We're just so proud of you and love you, and I'm excited for everything that you've done in the past 2 terms, and can't wait to see what else your faith is going to lead you to do in the future. So, love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sosha. Councilmember Williams, before I turn to you for final comments, I think Councilmember Larsdorf is going to have to jump off, and he wanted to have a moment, if you don't mind. Charlie, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. I do. So first, Jared, thank you. Thank you for being an example of what a man should be, what a father should be, what a husband should be, and what a council member should be. Over the last couple of years, I've got to know you, and got to know your beautiful bride and your beautiful family. And one thing has always been abundantly clear: that's that you genuinely care. And whether you and I agree on everything or not, whether I agree with anyone else on anything, as long as they genuinely care and as long as they're making the decisions based on the good of the people and they're making the best decisions they can, not with their own selfish interest, but with what they believe is the right thing, that's all that matters to me. And you, sir, you epitomize that. So know how much I appreciate that. As you know, I consider you a friend. I will hope that you will still go to breakfast with me and have lunches with me, after you leave this office. And just know how thankful I am for what you've done the last couple of years and showing me that, hey, we could disagree on things and still at the end of the day be friends and have that cordial conversation and do it with respect and mutual respect. You bring a level of decorum and civility that I think we desperately need, especially on this council. So thank you for that. Thank you for your friendship. And again, thank you for the example that you've set, as a father and as a husband, and just as a genuinely good person. And anyone who knows me knows I don't use that to describe everyone I know. But you're part of that club now. So welcome. I truly believe you're a genuinely good person. And I just thank you for being there and just being that person. So Shosha, thank you for sharing him with us, with the council, with the city. And Jared, you have littles. I mean, my youngest is 14. So thank you for everything you've done. And my goodness, I look forward to seeing what you do because I know you will continue to do great things. And again, even though we may not always agree, I know that you're doing it for the right reasons. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Charlie. Councilmember Nettles. Up? No.
Check. All right. Yeah. Probably got a District 8 mic. Some of y'all catch that later. Dr. Williams, it has been an honor and a privilege to share this dais with you. When I got the phone call, you called. You told me what you was going to do, and I got silent. You said, you still there? I said, yeah, I'm trying to find the words to say and not cuss you out. He was like, I got to do it. And we have done so much together. I do want to acknowledge a few people, Chairperson Crystal Gaden and Commissioner Elisa Simmons that's in the house, and Commissioner Roger, who already spoke. I always want to acknowledge, take a part of the privilege to acknowledge, and Trustee Kalisha, those elected officials in the house today. And I told you we had a lot of work to continue to do. And you said, I'm not going nowhere, I'm going to stay focused and continue to do the work. Some of the things that we've done together, one, we kind of made history as being one of the 2 youngest Black African American young men on council. The last time it happened was with Frank Moss and Ralph McLeod in the 1998. And so it was great. I met Jared at North Crowley High School, the current state championship team in football. He was the quarterback and I was a running back. Disregard probably believe I was actually a running back. You can contest to that, Jared. Okay. But we worked on redistricting together. We worked on the cruising ordinance, and that was right after we got on council. Freshmen trying to figure out what to do. We worked on the wages together as well as the curfew ordinance. We fought until the very end, and even the state law changed that where we didn't even have to put that ordinance back in place. These are some not so much popular things that we did on the council, but it was necessary things that we had to do. And you have truly been a friend and a brother in that. And so I really want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for doing it. And I almost feel like you're getting traded to another team. I'm just trying to figure out what team it is. But I'm going to support you in whatever endeavors that you do. I appreciate again, Dad. You know, you're still Dad. And you got my support on counseling, whatever you need. But thank you, young man, for the work that you have done, and your legacy is going to be a great legacy left. That you left the city better than it was when you came, and you fought every single day for the residents and the districts of District 6. And so I respect you for that. I wish you well. Godspeed. God bless you.
So my colleagues, if you want to speak about Jared, let's do that now, and then we'll let Jared have final remarks, if that'd be okay. Councilmember Peoples.
So this is going to take 30 seconds. He knows this. Speak to the hand. When I decided to run for council, I called him and he said, I'm not going to run. And I said, why? Is it because of me? And he said, no. He said, God called me to do other things. And so I can't fight with God, and I won't fight with God, but I will tell your son, speak to the hand, because he's leaving me. But just an amazing, extraordinary servant leader, and I love you for that. I love your commitment. I love your love of your wife, your beautiful wife, and your amazing children. And every time we talk, there's always a baby in the background. So I know that they have great plans for you. They will be glad to have you home. But like Chris, anything that you desire to do, you know I'm going to always be in your corner, even if I say speak to the hand.
Councilmember Blaylock.
So Jared, I think the first time I learned your name and your thoughts were when you endorsed my opponent, if you remember. It was back in 2022. It's kind of funny and interesting. Needless to say, you know, we met and had great discussions from the moment I got on council. I cannot begin to tell you how much I've valued our friendship, our time working together, having breakfasts and lunches together, and sometimes dinners. How I've so enjoyed representing our city together in Washington and Austin and so many other places over the years. Your wife is amazing and beautiful. You're lucky to have her. She is by far and away your better half, as mine is for me and so many others. I love your kids. I've held both of your kids, you know, while we visited and eaten, and it's just wonderful. I value your friendship, and I want to continue. It. So thank you for all you've done. Thank you for being a great partner on council. Thank you for always being thoughtful and your approach to anything and everything. So just want to say congratulations on the next step in your career.
Thank you, Alan. Councilmember Hill. Jared,
First of all, thank you so much for your kindness and your friendship. The first 2 years on council, I enjoyed being your seatmate. And I was sad when we got reshuffled and we moved to new city hall. But when I joined council, you were incredibly kind to me. And we agreed up front that we may not always agree, and we can agree to disagree, but we've had some really candid, constructive conversation. And I appreciate your wisdom and your thoughts. And congratulations and best of luck on your new endeavor.
Councilmember Flores.
Jared, my friend, I don't know where to begin, but I'll start off this way. I think that after hearing all these personal testimonials tonight, it's clear to me, and I think to everyone here in this audience, that you led with heart and you have deep empathy. All right, that's for me very impressive about you, and it translated into how you served on this council. I've enjoyed very much serving with you. I'm going to miss you. I think we're closer because of our shared experiences, both good, bad, and those challenges that we had to step up to and endure. Those criticisms. Some warranted, some unwarranted. But I think those of us who serve here uniquely know what it's really about. Serving on this body, I think, changes you, and you are changed. I think you'll realize that once you step off more so, right? And you'll take that with you into whatever you decide to do. And I think you'll be better for it. But in the meantime, I think what you need to concentrate on, if I may be so bold to offer, be there for your family and then be there for yourself. So farewell, my friend. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Carlos. Jared, my friend, I think we can all agree that public service is a full contact sport, and you have put your whole heart and soul into the service. It has been a blessing to get to know you and your wonderful family. We've got some of the cutest kids tonight in this audience. I have to say, it's a bit distracting to see how wonderful they are. I hope you've enjoyed your 4 years of service. You have absolutely made this city better, and I hope that you know that. As has already been said by our colleagues, you can imagine, the council was 9, then it was 11, and you have disagreements, but you also have times of real hope and triumph as a city. And we're presiding over this amazing community that is growing rapidly with all of those competing interests. And you need colleagues that have their head in the game, that are working on behalf of their districts. And candidly, as mayor, it is a lot of fun to work with a council member who's focused and knows what his constituents need and want from the entire city. So you have such a great, bright future, Jared, no matter what you want to go and do, whether it is in ministry or in nonprofit service or in for-profit or back in public service, it doesn't really matter. And I hope you feel really great about what you've done for the city of Fort Worth and have left a wonderful mark. As Chris mentioned earlier, the things that you worked on while you were here will have pay dividends into the future. So I'm not sad, I'm excited for you. It's amazing to me that y'all have reared 2 babies while you've been on the city council. Sosha deserves a vacation, my friend. I think you're going to Indonesia, which is great. She has earned it, absolutely. So God bless you. We love you, and we're really thankful that you signed up to serve on the city council. And I know the constituents of District 6 and all of Fort Worth are incredibly grateful as well. The floor is yours, my friend.
I have notes because if I don't, sorry, Jeanette.
Go ahead, Jeanette. I didn't think you were on there.
Yeah. So Jared, I just want to, we all know this is not goodbye. This is a see you later. And I just want to say that, District 6 couldn't have asked for a better council member. It's been a privilege to serve alongside you these past 2 years. And I just want to thank you for all the work that you did in redistricting to create District 11. I know you had a big hand in that, and I wouldn't be in this seat if it hadn't been for you and all the stakeholders that were able to do that. Just, you know, we're here. I know that you're going to continue to be a play a big part in our community, and I look forward to working with you in other ways. Enjoy this new role that you're in. Congratulations again. I know you've been in it for a few months now, and so just I'm glad that you'll be able to put your whole self into that and give more time to your family.
Thank you, Jeanette. Councilman Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I have notes because I will get all off track and start tearing up. And y'all know I am not ashamed to cry in public, so I'm gonna try to stay focused. But my heart, really and truthfully, is full. Um, it's filled with a whole lot of gratitude. Gratitude for each of you that are in this space, whether you're here for this occasion or if you're here for public comment. Many of you I've seen and spoken to in all kinds of occasions, and many of you are close friends and family. So thank you for sharing this space tonight. I also have a lot of gratitude for the people of District 6, for this great city that raised me, the great district that raised me, and the great people that raised me and my family. And I'm just super grateful for this extraordinary journey that we've shared over the past 4 years. When I first answered the call to public service, Sosha and I, well, Sosha looked at me like I was crazy. She's kind of alluded to that, but we shared a common vision, whether it was through public service or not. We wanted to build a life that was rooted in faith, purpose, and a love for our community. And what began as a step of faith soon became a season of transformation. Not just for the city and all the incredible work that me and my colleagues and you, the people of Fort Worth, did together, but also, as the mayor alluded, for my family. When I first started, I didn't have 2 kids. And now I have 2 babies under 2, and I don't necessarily know if that was intentional or not, but I thank God that I have both of them. And during this chapter, we welcomed Janelle and Jameson, and gosh, every day that I wake up and I leave the house and they're asleep, and I come home and they're asleep. Um, takes a whole lot of courage and faith to do that in this line of work. And every day when I came back home and they were actually awake, they didn't seem to remember that I came home the day before and they were asleep. And they welcomed me with um, arms wide open, with a whole lot of love and a whole lot of dad-dads and a whole lot of laughs. And so every day I come home and when I show up to work, um, I'm reminded of who I'm serving and why this work matters. So, Sosha, thank you. Thank you for walking beside me through the late nights, the hard decisions, the nights of tears, and the moments of joy. To my dad, Pastor Williams, he's my pastor, my dad, and my roommate. So, and I'm one of his assistants in the ministry. So you can imagine all the work I do at home versus at church. And to my entire family, your steady love and moral guidance have shaped the person I've at least strived to be. And to my mother, whose spirit I carry with me, the lessons she has given, Mom, your love and your light are held deeply in remembrance, and it guides us all in a warm embrace. Um, to those who showed up today and who have stood with me, I see Sean, and I'm going to just start rattling names really quick. All my frat brothers, Dina, Marcus, Cindy was here. I mean, Dr. Bell, Michael, Ernie, Fanny. Oh man, my brother Sybil's. Devitt, what's up, brother? Ed, Susan, obviously Davia, Roderick, William, all of y'all that are in this space for this moment. Sorry if I didn't name you, but y'all have supported me. Crystal Gaden, I saw you I see you, Chairwoman. Kalisha, Rod, Elisa, y'all have just really walked alongside me and supported me, coached me up, shared wisdom with me. And ultimately, you believed in the vision that we all share together. And you walked side by side in this thing. Especially my campaign team, whether you knocked doors, You made phone calls. You lifted us up in prayer or simply shared a kind word of encouragement. You reminded me that this work is never done alone. And so that's why I say it's not my seat, it's all of our seat. Your belief in a better Fort Worth gave us the strength to keep going, even in the hardest moments. And this has always been a shared journey, and I am forever grateful to have walked it with you. To my colleagues on this dais, like I've made lifelong friends. I think that for as much as DC and sometimes Austin politics show us the worst of this work, I think in a lot of times we've shown the best of it, that we bring a level of civility and decorum even when we don't agree, and we're always focused on justice and humanity, even if we have different paths of getting there. And so I'm forever grateful for each of you for the many moments that we've shared and the many lives that we've touched, transformed, and saved because of the decisions we made up here. For me, this work has never been about titles or political power. It's always been about values. And something I hold dearly, the Shema reminds me daily that you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. And just as powerfully, Scripture also reminds me that we are commanded to love our neighbors even as ourselves. And that is what public service has been for me, an act of love, love for God and love for you. And so every city budget, every zoning decision, every street repair, and every neighborhood meeting has always been an opportunity for me to lean into our shared values. Y'all have heard some of the things we've done. We've raised, wages for city workers because dignity in labor is a moral imperative for me. We brought EMS back under public control because public safety should be rooted in trust, not profit. We preserved hundreds of acres of open space because our children deserve a livable, sustainable future. And in a time when hyperpartisanship has stifled action nationwide, we chose to act locally. We invested in solutions to break the cycle of retaliatory and cyclical gun violence that continues to claim the lives of our young people, especially our Black and brown boys, because every child deserves to grow up safe, hopeful, and free from fear. We also brought equity to the foundation of our democracy. Redistricting was not just about drawing maps and not just about power grabs. It was about fairness. It was about transparency. It was about democratic process. And it was about honoring the voices of communities like the historic Lake Como neighborhood, which had been denied representation of their choice for far too long. And that changed. And together we made history. Charlie, you said it, and brother, I appreciate the many coffees we have. We have one pending that we need to schedule. But I certainly believe that our nation needs leaders who choose courage over convenience, leaders who are willing to speak up for justice even when it's unpopular, leaders who understand that our diversity is not a problem to be managed, it's a strength to be celebrated and invested in, even when the powerful try to ban diversity, equity, and inclusion. My colleagues know, and I'll say this in public or in private, like banning DEI is anti-biblical. I believe that God created this world richly and uniquely and wonderfully. And it's a sad time when we're rolling back the hands of time on matters that God has already spoken on. And so as I step away from this seat, I do so with a reassuring peace, one that surpasses all understanding. The work continues, and the seeds we have planted will grow. I will continue to serve, not looking for a title, but for justice, prosperity, and dignity for all with the same heart that led me here. Because the call to love God and love neighbor does not end when a term concludes. And if one day that call leads me back to public service, trust and believe I will listen. And so, my friends, thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. My prayer is that God's abounding love, peace, blessing, and prosperity would abound in each of you and your households and the world that you encounter every day. And that grace and peace and freedom and justice and a whole lot of love would reign supreme here in Fort Worth, Tarrant County, this nation, and this entire world. Thank y'all for serving alongside of me. And if it's okay, Mayor, I would like to give you all a round of applause and a standing ovation for sharing in this moment with me. So thank y'all.
So, Sean, I'm going to put you on the spot. Are you trying to leave with those babies? If you want to come up and grab a picture with Jared, I know that you may not want to stay for full public comment. You're welcome to do that. Jameson may not last another hour. I don't know. Totally fine. I just want you to know you can do that. She don't want to do it. She doesn't want to do it. She's not having it, is she? No. Hi, Jameson. There she goes. We're going to transition to public comment. Thank you to Sosha for bringing those babies, and to Councilmember Williams. Our next speaker is Chris Wood, followed by Bob Willoughby.
Hi, I'm Chris Wood from District 9. As temperatures rise in Fort Worth, we must be aware of the correlation between high temperatures and crime. The physiological effects of heat on the nervous system leads to shorter tempers and more aggressive reactions. Crime rates, especially violent felonies, are higher in the summer months. We cannot afford to repeat events such as the 3 tragic shootings within 30 minutes of each other last July 5th here in Fort Worth, resulting in 2 homicides. 2 other factors which compound the effect of increased temperatures are substance use disorder and mental illness. These 2 factors are often present in homicides and are preventable. Mental Health America, the leading organization promoting mental health, ranks us dead last in nationwide access to mental health services, including insurance, treatment, and mental health workers. In Texas, there is only 1 mental health professional for every 700 people, compared to 1 for every 70 in California. Again, that is 1 in 700 versus 1 in 70. Personally, I experienced this lack of care myself. The City of Fort Worth partners with My Health, My Resources of Tarrant County, MHMR, to provide services for individuals with substance use addictions or mental health conditions. I was assigned an MHMR caseworker last year. He often complained of long days, burdensome paperwork, and not spending enough quality time with patients. All my psychiatric appointments, therapy appointments, and prescribed medications were paid for by my father, with no assistance or resources from MHMR. Many others do not have this luxury of family assistance. A decrease in crime rate, even by a small percentage, can lead to significant savings through reduced cost of the justice system, increased tax revenue, and improved property values. Studies suggest for every 10 additional mental health care offices in a county, there is roughly a 0.5% decrease in the overall crime rate. For Fort Worth, this translates to savings of about $10 million yearly based on the over $2,000 per capita cost of crime. Please help ensure proper mental health care is available for all Fort Worth citizens to prevent innocent people from falling victim to crimes and to save funds. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Bob Willoughby, followed by EJ Karen.
What I want to show you here is a picture of 100% corruption as soon as she gets that up there or whatever. What it is that the citizens can do a petition to get sidewalks put in, things done with a petition. This is not a city job. This is not a permit job. This was a petition job by the neighbors. And what happened was this lateral line, I don't know if you're ever gonna get the picture up there so you can see it or not, but the lateral line is gonna cost us over $900,000. It's for one person. Has a nice big house at the end of the street. They want that, only one. Even the assistant director of the water department says this is not feasible. And you know what happened? When they started bringing the Drawn Heights Neighborhood Association was never notified. They're listed on the data bank and they were not notified at all. What they did, the people that wanted that bypassed opposition, found a couple of people that agreed, and railroaded it through. We contacted the director of the water department, and you know what he did? I don't know if you're ever gonna get the picture up. You're not gonna show the picture, are you? Okay. This is what they do. That's 100% corruption when they don't show the picture. That's what it is.
It's not
The
working.
director removed all that equipment when he found out the petition wasn't done right. He pulled it all out, everything. They stopped the job. He did right for 5 days. Even the employees said, "You got it stopped." They did. You know what happened? They brought it all back. Didn't even talk to the neighborhood association, and now they're putting in this big line, $900,000 for one person that's friends with Maddie Parker. She does not go by the rules. The rules do not apply to you, Matt, do they? You just break them. Even the Drawn Heights Neighborhood Association doesn't have the grounds it deserves because it's broken by you.
I've been busy.
You do not go by rules. You do not respect people. You do not respect the city. And like you don't have the picture up there. See?
That's not my fault. There you go.
Oh, now we got a minute left here. You see this tractor and stuff? They pulled all this out. The director pulled all that out clear for 5 days and brought it back. You know what? I sent a letter. I gave it to the city manager. I said, Chaba, why did they bring it back? And they brought it back. Why didn't they contact the Drawn Heights Neighborhood Association? That's why it was taken out, because they just bypassed us. We don't count. We're a registered neighborhood association and we don't count. Because as long as this city don't have a mayor, you have to have a mayor that cares about people, that's honest, and will work. And Jared, the other side of you will come out in my book in 28. No one told the other side about you. But it'll come out in 28 along with the mayor and everybody else. 28 or 29 when our book will be released. And it has a lot of stuff in there that's true, fact. And ain't nothing you can be able to do about it.
Bob, I'll say this since this is my last meeting. I know it's probably out of order and out of turn. I'm not going to talk about you. I have always had a door open, and for the life of me, I don't understand why you don't bring your issues to us via email or show up to our offices. You just grandstand here, and that's really sad because we really care about fixing your issues, some of them.
EJ, the floor is yours, followed by Ken Shimato.
Hello, my name is EJ Carrion. Congratulations, Williams. It was nice to see you at Commissioner's Court this morning. I host a weekly podcast analyzing the city, producing over 220 episodes in the last 5 years, and I'm here to share my concerns. Today, Tarrant County Commissioner's Court passed a map that was introduced less than a week ago, a map that silences the voices of tens of thousands of Black and brown residents, not by accident, but by design. It's a map forged in extremism, spawned by County Judge Tim O'Hare, and forfeits power from our city to enclaves like South Lake, Keller, and Hazlitt. Silencing our residents was silencing Fort Worth. And in the face of this injustice, this dais should have stood united for our city, one voice speaking for all people. But instead, 4 voted against that unity, including you, Mayor Parker. I've heard you say how much you hate partisan politics, but your track record shows that you do not protect our city, instead fall back on political affiliation. Fort Worth has long been called Panther City for our pride in feeling like a small, slow-paced, sleepy town. But too often, that sleepiness has become our weakness. And when we sleep through injustice, we wake up to find our values gone and our power stolen. The mayor benefits from this sleepiness because she can be comfortable rather than courageous. It started with the removal of the Gay Pride Proclamation and the LGBTQ reading badge, then supporting Mercy Culture, menacing a historic neighborhood by placing an exploitation center on their grounds, allowing them to prey on vulnerable sex trafficked victims and re-victimize them with Christian extremism. You have been silent as Latino families are fearful to go outside as ICE propaganda raids the airways. Extremism has crept in our city, and you enabled it. It is headquartered near TCU at Trump America's First Policy Institute. Tarrant County is the largest swing county in America. National Republicans have called Tarrant the next Pennsylvania, a battleground that will shape the future. The fight for democracy starts in Tarrant County, and the front line is Fort Worth City Council. We need leaders who are bold enough to stand up against bullies. Now, to the 6 council members who are willing to take a stand and are those who are running for Council Williams' seat. If O'Hare, Ramirez, and Kraus want to make a county that will suppress Black and brown people, it's a time to make a city for the people. You have the votes, you have the power. Wake up to the lies masked at politeness. Wake up to the silence that erodes our strength. Wake up to the power we still hold. Wake up, Fort Worth. Wake up.
Our next speaker is Ken Shimato.
Good evening, Mayor Parker, council members. I just want to add my salute and admiration to Dr. Williams for his servant leadership, always driven by faith, love, and care for people. Earlier today, this evening at Commissioner's Court, we saw a different kind of leadership, one typified by colossal arrogance and lack of concern for the people's point of view. Now, I've been paying taxes here in Fort Worth, Texas since 1978. When we bought our house in Arlington Heights 21 years ago, I told my wife, I'm happy now because I know where I'm gonna die. And that's not a morbid statement because I feel a connection to this place. You know, I've been in District 7 and yeah, this is my home. And so when you know, the Republican county chair says, we're gonna run all the Democrats out of the city so we can have a conservative city on the Hill, I say, I got too much sweat equity here. I'm not going to any place. But I would like to say to Councilman Nettles and the other members who voted, you know, for the resolution against redistricting, thank you, sir. Thank you for standing up. And I hope you all will keep showing up, standing up, and speaking up, because that's what it takes. Mayor Parker, thank you for signing the letter with the other mayors. We appreciate that leadership. It would have made a stronger statement had you voted with the majority, because we know what's happening with the county commission now, the commissioner's court. I mean, I still don't understand, you know, you're the leader of a city of over 1 million people. All of the economic engines in Tarrant County are here in Fort Worth or in Arlington. Yet these bedroom communities like Everman and Kennedale and Southlake are calling the tune and the changes. I don't understand that. But I really hope that y'all will look deep in your hearts and provide the leadership that we need to protect the people of Fort Worth going forward, because Commissioner's Court isn't going to do it. Thank you.
Is Mindy Tackett?
First, congratulations on a job well done, Dr. Williams. I want to recognize a vote on a resolution about gerrymandering and celebrate the courage that it took to cast that vote. 6 members of this city council made a decision that wasn't easy, it wasn't safe, but it was absolutely right. In doing so, they did not sit on the sidelines. They didn't hem-haw about language for a resolution. They didn't wait for other leaders in Tarrant County to act. They led. Leadership is not about staying neutral when it's convenient. It's about stepping up when it counts. And in a moment that called for conviction, these 6 chose courage and comfort over comfort, clarity over confusion, and people over politics. Their vote was a statement of values and a reflection of the future the vast majority of Fort Worth citizens desire, a future that demands equity, justice, and bold action. To you 6 council members, thank you for reminding us what real leadership can look like. The 6 of you have proven you can be resolute. Please don't stop here. Keep going. Be a united front against far-right extremism and white Christian nationalism here in Fort Worth and lead this city forward. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Lee Jackson, followed by Bishop Kirkland.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Lee Jackson, and the last time I was here, I was speaking to this esteemed body as president of the Police Association. But today I'm here to talk about Fort Worth's newest #1 museum, which is the DFW Car and Toy Museum. Perhaps some of y'all have heard of that or even visited it. According to TripAdvisor, it's the #1 tourist attraction in this city. It's also currently the largest car museum in the state of Texas and the 5th largest car museum in the country. My friend Ron Sturgeon started the museum. He's been collecting cars for over 40 years, and he loves his cars, so he wants everybody to see them. So let me tell you just a little bit about the museum. It had its grand opening April 12th this year. It's 150,000 square feet. There's been 2 public events with over 2,000 people attending. They're averaging 1,000 visitors per week. There's always free admission. There's never a charge to get into this museum. It's open Tuesday through Saturday, dog friendly, so feel free to bring the pooch. There's over 200 cars there, and there's over 3,000 antique toys, some of which you see, you might kind of remind you of your own childhood, as a matter of fact. When he opened this museum, or when he was planning it and building it, he did not seek 1 cent in tax incentive or abatement, which I think is very impressive. It is the largest car museum around, and it's available for parties and car storage in case anybody ever wants to host a political event or a party there. We're just wanting to get the word out so everybody knows what's going on. If you have the opportunity, it's really a great, great museum. There's over 200 very cool, very unusual, and specialized cars. So if you get a chance, drop by. Admission is always free, Tuesday through Saturday. I'm sure y'all would really be thrilled to see it. And congratulations, Mr. Williams, Dr. Williams. Thank y'all.
Next speaker is Bishop Kirkland, followed by Ann Zeta.
I want to say great job, Jared. You're one of my favorite. I just finished my last round with cancer this time around, my last treatment. And that's been my absence, but I'm back. I have one complaint. You guys, the Republicans around here, use Jesse Taylor like the poster boy for the Black community, for the Republicans. And when he passed away, I didn't see not one of you there to give him the same dignity and respect that he paid this city as your black poster boy. Council, I want to say thank you for having the courage to submit that letter with the 8 other cities. Mayor Parker, thanks for not acting like Tiny Tim, like this is your little playroom. Thank you for having the courage when we dig in your gluteus maximus, that you have the courage to sit there and to take whatever it is that we have to say and not throw people out of the room because you don't like the ball they're playing with. I'm going to need this city's leadership to fight these racist bastards at the county, for you to stand up for the good citizens of our city. We are the stakeholder. We are the big boy on the block. I sure as hell will be glad when we start acting like the big boy on the block. Madam Mayor, City Council, let me say this. VIP has lost a lot of funding, Madam Mayor. A lot of funding. Crime is going up on the south and the east side because he cannot pay his workers. We are in for a bloodbath if we do not find the resources to get Rodney's people back on the street. And then we'll come here crying, talking about the south side and the east side, when we could be proactive, Chris, and not, I'm sorry, Councilman Nettles, and not reactive. It's a shame what's going on. It used to be that people who were ugly wore a hood. Well, they don't wear the hood anymore because of a fella in Washington, D.C., who could say the most brazen and brass things that he can, has given people like little Tiny Tim the courage to look at his constituency and not care a single bit about what he's doing. We're about to be the 8th largest city in the United States. We're going to have to act like we the big boys on the block.
Our next speaker is Ann Zeta, followed by Sabrina Ball.
Good evening, everyone. I am here to speak to the state of the city, the county, and the region and representation sparked by how the county redistricting process was carried out. Regardless of political affiliation or where each of you stand politically, the process and how the redistricting of the precinct maps were created, presented, and decided upon was unethical, lacked transparency, and was discriminatory. Some of you were here when I came and urged the council to unanimously support the resolution against redistricting. I, along with many of you, know better as the council, having just gone through redistricting and having seen what a responsible process looks like, had an obligation to speak up, and I appreciate those of you who did. There have been comments about being disappointed that things that should not be partisan are being made partisan, and I agree with you. Things like safe streets, affordable housing, public transportation, access to healthy food and healthcare, the rights of everyone to live their lives and love who they love, all should be things that we support, all of us. However, it is not those of us who are working to improve these things that are in this moment speaking out about redistricting process that are making it partisan. We have literally been told by many who are supporting this mid-census redistricting that they wish to make Tarrant County inhospitable for many of us to live here. If we don't stand up for what is right in the face of what those who are moving only within these partisan politics have in mind, we are putting our city in harm's way. At this point, I hope everyone is aware of how egregious the redistricting process was, but a 6th and 7th map were released just days ago. And the 7th map was adopted, which wasn't even available at any of the public hearings. This is truly shameful. Also, all 4 public meetings were not published as meetings at which commissioners could all attend without breaking quorum rules, so there was no intention by them to hear all of the public. But this is not simply a partisan loss of power, it is also a significant roadblock to many of the things that are necessary to ensure that Fort Worth is a successful city of over 1 million people, a loss of voice of the majority minority community, and I have great concerns that the smaller cities after this redistricting, this shift of power often doesn't support regional needs that a larger city and the region as a whole needs. This can be seen with not supporting transit, healthcare, and even city and school bond elections that ensure quality of life that constituents need as things grow. I'm going to run out of time before I get to the end of this. I apologize. I just want to end by saying that we've had similar concerns at the city council, not having everybody have a tie to the core of the city, and the redistricting that we went through in 2021 severed those ties. Now there are council districts that do not have a tie to the core of the city. It's very important that we work together on these things that affect the city as a whole. And in order for that work to be done, we have to put our city over our party. And it takes collaboration and understanding of all of our values and consideration of the planning and design of the entire city.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Sabrina Ball, followed by Thomas Hamilton.
Thank you, Jared. Can we agree that we want our loved ones to be safe and have opportunities and ultimately stay close to us? Last week, WFAA ran a segment called Boomtown, where they interviewed Mayor Parker. And all I could think was, who is this for? It's certainly not for the people who live here. Because at the same time, they are supposedly bringing opportunity here and big business partnerships. The conservatives on this council are supporting extremist policies that hurt our citizens and cut opportunity. They did not support the resolution against redistricting. I thought conservatives believed in freedom. But by supporting O'Hare, Wayburn, Abbott, Trump, MAGA, and Mercy culture, they cut opportunity from minority communities and ultimately drive our kids away. Is there freedom without opportunity? My kids can't stay here. It is literally not safe to build a family here or sometimes exist. Is there freedom without safety? Conservatives on this council have supported an invasion of failing charter schools with more to come, the defunding of public schools, and they support a TEA takeover. Ask a Houston parent or taxpayer how they feel about that. It literally costs them money. They support cutting federal jobs and clean energy, dismantling the Infrastructure and Jobs Act, which brought millions of dollars and jobs to Tarrant County. They support gutting healthcare and support policies that kill Texas moms. They support the deportation of our worker friends and the funding of concentration camps. And they support white Christian nationalism. At the Precinct 3 meeting, one after another declared this right to redistrict as part of their faith. Now, I'm a granddaughter of a Pentecostal preacher, and I have my fair share of religious trauma. So I know bad religion when I see it, when I feel it. I felt it when they ended the sex ed curriculum that was working. Now we've got rising teen birth rates and higher rates of HIV infection. I felt it when they banned books and DEI, and I will feel it when victims of human trafficking are trapped on a property with a man who calls women Jezebels. You cannot grow a city when you divide. You cannot grow a city when you hurt the poor. You cannot grow a city when you oppress its people. You cannot grow a city when you starve it. My people on this council, in the majority, I see you. Use the levers of the power we gave you. Continue to use your voices and speak loudly as one. Inspire us so Fort Worth can not only grow, but thrive and keep our families together.
Our next speaker is Thomas Hamilton, followed by Eddie Delgado.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. I live at 3101 View Street, District 11. Sunday, June 1st, 5 p.m., my neighbors at 3113 View fire up a band in the backyard complete with brass horns. The bass was so thumping that it caused ripples in my drink that was sitting beside my chair. I called the police. No one came. An hour later, I called the police again. No one came. An hour later, they were racing four-wheelers up and down the street, Almost had a rear end collision with my neighbor next door. I called the police. No one came. An hour later, they were physically fighting in the street between mine and Mr. Chavez's house across the street. I called the police. No one came. At this time, I asked for the command sergeant or lieutenant on duty to give me a call. No one replied. After 10 p.m., I called again. Finally, at 10:20, Officer Halyard, or Sergeant Halyard, called me. He put the blame on the call takers. He had officers come, shut down the music. After they left, 20 minutes later, music was back on. I called him again. He said he'd send the officers back. The music finally stopped at 12:20. So 7+ hours of extremely loud music, vehicles racing up and down the street, street fighting, 5-hour wait for ineffective police response. This is uncalled for. For citizens to have a band in the backyard is totally uncalled for. It should require a permit with at least 30 days for people to be notified that this is going to happen. There's a venue for this type of thing, and it ain't in the backyard where you affect your neighbors for blocks around. And I'm not talking just, it was irritating. This was extremely loud. My neighbor next door has a newborn. Children should not be denied their bedtimes and stuff because the people next door want to throw a party. This needs looking into. And thank you for your time. And one last thing, Councilman Williams, may God bless your path and the roads that lay before you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Eddie Delgado, followed by David Martinez. Mr. Delgado here? Eddie Martinez, I'm sorry, Eddie Delgado, David Martinez. David's here. David will be followed by Alexander Montalvo.
Good evening. First, I would like to congratulate Dr. Williams. I know you're very proud of your basketball team over there, but I want to remind everybody that Odie Wyatt soccer team won first place. I know we didn't have the team show up and get an award or anything like that, but congratulations to Odie Wyatt, Carter Park High School, for varsity soccer team, boys, first place, FYI. Councilman Nettles. Okay, and Mayor, thank you for what you've done for our program that we have for the school. $15,000 goes a long way, and I'm working with the Seminary Corridor for the businesses in our area to also contribute to the kids. We're going to be trying to get stores and things like that to contribute all kinds of stuff for the kids in the area. I appreciate that. And if anybody that's here listening or watching right now on the video, YouTube, if y'all have any resources y'all like to contribute to Carter Park, I appreciate it. Thank you very much on that. Also, want to talk about, I didn't want to talk about it. I don't want to bring up race. I know a lot of race has been brought up around the county redistricting. I'm not going to bring up that because, as far as minorities, I think I'm part of a small, very, very small Jewish Native American minority group. Probably the only one you'll ever meet. But, and my children are all mixed. And I don't consider them a mix of color. I think I have a dark-skinned child, curly hair. I have a blonde-haired daughter with blue eyes. We're all Native Americans. And so I'm not going to talk about color and all that stuff, but I want to talk about business. That's one thing that all of us will agree on. So I saw the map was 7 at the last minute. They put the map 7 for the redistricting, and that took a chunk out of Carter Park, the I-35, I-20 along the Seminary Corridor. And we were at the Neighborhood Association meeting where we find out we are getting new developments. We're getting zoning. for housing, which we approve. Nice houses, brand new houses being built over there, right down the way from the VA hospital and the Tuskegee Airmen Veterans Home. So we want to develop that area because we don't want the camping of the homeless camps and all that transients there, and we want to push them out by having families move in and everything. So we're okay with that. We also find out there might be an HEB store put there, right where the map is cut. So I don't know if it's for certain, but I very much I will fight for an HEB. I will once with the neighborhood associations put together, I will align with the veterans group and in the PTAs. And yes, we need the economic development in that area. Thank you. God bless.
Our next speaker is Alexander Montalvo, followed by Adrian Smith.
All right. Congratulations on your service, Jared. It's a lot of work to be a public servant, and I know pushback is always pretty tough to hear. I'm here, unfortunately, going to have to give some pushback against this entire council, and I want to share a story that, Jared, I'm not too sure if you remember, but I feel like is relevant to the moment that we just saw at the Tarrant County Commissioners Court. Back in 2019, I remember you and I and many others were at a Leadership ISD function talking about education, how do we solve different things, and I shared a concern about vouchers and the dismantling of public education. And I feel like many in the conversation didn't feel like that would happen, didn't feel like we would allow that to happen. And I highlight that because although that was 6 years ago, lo and behold, the text ledge passed vouchers this session. And they stumbled as much as they could to not make that happen. Of course, you get endorsements and favor from our mayor, and it shows that the momentum is on their side. And I highlight that story and that example because there is a frustration, as you've heard from other speakers, that the leadership we have in Fort Worth is not doing it. We are a city that's just celebrating over 1 million people. Our diversity is the majority, and yet so many sat back when the County Commissioners Court decided to rush this racist gerrymandering process to redistrict. Now, yes, 6 of you voted for a city council proposal, which we definitely appreciate you putting your name and your vote behind that. But overall, the pushback from this council was anemic at best. Yes, eventually the mayor signed a letter, didn't show up today like other mayors to make public comments. But for a city this size, with the amount of resources we have, the amount of influence we have, for it to be so weak at a time when extremism continues to barrel down our door, all I can say is I and others are sick of the Fort Worth way that think personal relationships is the pathway for change when we need real change. And lastly, I'll say to Councilman Martinez, Jeanette, and Carlos, at the 11th hour, getting Latino elected officials to sign a letter, I guess is better late than never. But a Latino member just voted for redistricting to take out his community.
Time has expired. I'm sorry. Our next speaker is Adrian Smith. Thank you, Alexander. Our next speaker is Adrian Smith, followed by Nadia Cardenas. Nadia Cardenas.
Hello. I had a whole thing I brought and I left it on the counter, so we're gonna wing it here. My name is Nidia Cardenas, and I grew up here in Fort Worth. I'm a product of Fort Worth ISD Public Schools. I was the Northside High School valedictorian class of 2004. And I went on to graduate from Stanford University and get an MBA from the University of Michigan. And I've lived in many cities: Boston, LA, Detroit, Ann Arbor. And I moved back, I'll be transparent, in 2020, purely a pandemic move. I was living in LA at the time. And my brother, who doesn't normally call with concern, was like, "Why are you over there? You don't have family. And if you get sick, what are you going to do? You need to come home." So I did. And I left all my stuff in storage there, thinking I was going to go back. But then I came back to Fort Worth and I was like, "Oh, Fort Worth is different. Like, Fort Worth feels like an exciting place to be now compared to when the 18-year-old me." So I decided to give it a go and to stay. And so I've been here the last 5 years, really trying to engage in community and contribute in the many ways that I can through supporting small businesses, entrepreneurship development. And I should share also that what I do for a living is I am a leadership coach, and I coach people on how to manage their energy to avoid burnout. And so what I thought I was going to say today, I decided instead that what I'm going to focus on is that I spent the day at the county commissioners court meeting, and it was just so disillusioning. And I think what we talk about, I also work as an election clerk because we need more young people working elections. As senior citizens cannot move the machines. A side note, but we're always talking about how, why don't people vote? Why don't people vote? Well, I think today was an example of why people don't vote, because even when we show up in mass, we're not heard. Our elected officials do not listen to us. So that is why people are apathetic voters. They don't see that their voices are being heard. So today was a pretty depressing witnessing of what is not leadership, what is actually just authority and practicing authority. And so I do want to thank the council members for initiating that letter, and also to the mayor for signing on to the letter. And I want to invite you to a book club, is what I want to do, because I think that there's an opportunity for us to lead differently, to actually create a city in which we stop dehumanizing people who don't look like us, who don't believe in the same things as us, but see each other's humanity. So I would like to invite you to a book club to read a book by Adrienne Marie Brown called "Holding Change: The Way of Emergent Strategy, Facilitation, and Mediation." And I really sincerely mean it, because I think it's a way to engage in actually centering humanity and compassion and imagination in how we shape the city moving forward. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jim DeLong, followed by James Smith. Thank you, Jim. Our next speaker is James Smith. Mr. Smith is here. Mr. Smith will be followed by Carlos Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is James Smith. I didn't know it was going to be the Jared Williams hour today, but that kind of changed what I was going to say. But at any rate, I appreciate Councilman Williams for every vote that he cast in honor of Tatiana. Councilman Flores, you are the only original council person that's been on the dais since this incident happened. And so I'm praying that as we go forward, you whisper into the new councilman's ear the same championship that you've portrayed over the past 5.5 years. I watched the commissioner's court today, and that was nerve-wracking to say the least. But this Fort Worth City Council so far has done an outstanding job as far as my issue. But when you join a club like this and you hear that your president is considering pardoning Derek Chauvin, that's troubling. It's scary, especially after I witnessed the commissioner's court today. Not saying Fort Worth would do that, but it's just the mere thought of it. For people like me, just the thought of it is damaging. At any rate, we're going on 6 years, and I know Fort Worth can do better, the great city that it is. I was caring for a young lady. She was 75 years old. She died a couple of days ago. She was at my home in hospice, and as they wheeled her out that night, it just happened to be 2 o'clock in the morning. Memories arised. I didn't see my friend being wheeled out. I saw Tatiana, which means my mission is not over. I have to regroup, revamp, and continue to push for the accountability for this young lady and her family. We're tired. They're tired. But I'm going to press on until we reach the goal I set when I first stood, not here, but the other city hall room, and asked for transparency, justice, and accountability. I know you can do it. I'm counting on you doing it. Mr. Williams, leave a sticky note on your computer. Say her name. I lost Miss Bivens and Chief Noakes. I feel like I lost part of my army. But the new soldiers that are coming on, I'm gonna recruit you. Justice for Tatiana, and congratulations, Jared. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Carlos Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez here? If not, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you.